How to respond to a disappointing performance review. Your annual review is your time to shine, even when some of the feedback is negative. A performance review is a valuable tool, and the process offers you the opportunity to look back at your accomplishments and set goals for the year ahead. But how do you handle a performance review that takes a turn for the worse? One that either includes disappointing comments or a rating that doesn't measure up to what you believe have been your contributions. You may feel stunned, angry, or feel like walking out because you and your manager don't see eye to eye about your contributions to the company over the past year. You need to respond with professionalism and coolness. In every situation where a disappointing review occurs, this is the best approach. Losing control will make your reviewer defensive and likely serve only to validate the rating that you have received. Of course you feel disappointed and you may even feel angry. However, resist the urge to become emotional in a performance review meeting. Being judged or appraised is, by its very nature, stressful. But the truth is that neither managers nor employees generally look forward to reviews. It's also important to remember that no matter how well you perform, a skilled manager will look for points for improvement. This can be a positive thing for both you and the work organization, so take a breath and stay calm. Ask yourself, just how serious were the negative points that were brought up in your review? Are they serious enough to put your job in jeopardy? Is the work culture such that tough reviews are common? Is this a sudden change from the past where you consistently received much better reviews? Is management using performance reviews in a special way this year to set a new direction or achieve different goals? The most important question, of course, is whether or not it is important to look at the problems raised in your review as points to keep in mind that can help you get back on track for the coming year. If you stay calm, you will more easily decide how to respond in an effective and professional manner. This is the pathway to a better outcome in your review meeting. And here's a key point. If there was nothing more to learn or improve upon, you might feel relieved, but you would not benefit from the performance review. So in the vast majority of cases, it is important to look for the value in negative comments and take them in stride. If you don't agree with what's been pointed out in your review, ask for clarification in a professional manner. That is, you've said that I don't always use good judgment. Could you give me an example? I'd really like to learn from this. If you calmly and genuinely ask for clarification, your boss will probably appreciate having the opportunity to explain. You'll make a better impression with this approach, and your reviewer will immediately know that you are taking these comments seriously and professionally. This is always a plus. Try to not take comments personally. This is difficult for many employees to hear. Always make the assumption that comments in your review are about your performance, not your character. Performance reviews are about measurable things: the quality of your work, attendance, availability, conduct, attitude, teamwork, attention to detail, and your appearance. If you have to let off steam, do it when you get home. Mow the lawn or take a brisk walk. Exercise and try to detach for a period of time. And don't ruminate on the negative, the what-ifs, or if only this or that. Gather your thoughts later to consider how to respond. It's often a good idea to avoid venting with coworkers about your review and/or your boss's treatment toward you. The urge to do so may be strong, but ask yourself if it could make the situation worse or make things turn more negative. After you've given the review some thought, consider what you want to say in response to your review or evaluation. What points do you want to make or clarify with your manager? Plan your discussion. Write out your comments and go over them at home. If you decide on a written response to be put in your file, go over it carefully to be sure that you're using a professional, objective tone that presents you in the best light. Let it sit for a day or maybe two. Let a friend outside of work give you feedback and ask him or her to check your response for its effectiveness and professionalism too. The next day, ask for an appointment. Make this post-review conference a win-win situation by coming to an agreement on common expectations for the coming year. Remember to treat your manager with respect. This should not be about personalities. Your review and any response should be about job performance. Don't let your written response attack the supervisor. Focus on your performance, communication, resources, the environment, and how any of these things contributed to or interfered with your performance. If you know that your performance fell a notch during the past year, the best approach is to be the first one to mention it. Being genuine and upfront can help you recruit your supervisor as an ally who will support the changes you need to make going forward. Make sure that you understand what your boss expects so that you meet those expectations. Have you been given or offered a performance improvement plan? If not, create one for yourself and plan periodic meetings with your boss in the coming year so that you can gauge your progress. This keeps you from being surprised by a future performance review that isn't favorable. Ask your reviewer or supervisor if he or she can discuss what would be considered acceptable performance, average performance, excellent performance, and outstanding work next year. Can your supervisor say what the differences between these levels of performance might be? This is not always possible for every supervisor, but it can be very helpful. You can also create your own performance chart for these different levels of performance that you can refer to frequently during the next year to keep you on track. A negative review can be a vehicle for career growth if you view the process as a valuable tool in understanding and developing skills that will be recognized on the job. Sometimes managers accidentally overlook some of the achievements of supervisees that would have contributed to a more positive review. If you offer reminders about these achievements and their significance, and your boss accepts your point of view, be tactful in asking for an amended review. If you feel that an observation is grossly unfair, many companies allow you to write a response for your personnel file. In this case, be sure to couch your response in objective language and to avoid what's known as purple prose. Purple prose is writing that is evocative beyond the requirements of its context. It also refers to writing that employs rhetorical effects, such as exaggerated sentiment. Do not turn your remarks into a personal assault on an unfair manager. That approach certainly won't help your cause. Simply explain the situation as you experienced it. Here's an example. Although Mrs. Jones feels that my tardiness has been excessive, I had written a letter about my wife's illness, and I believed my reasons for coming in late were understood. On the other hand, if you feel that your boss has a valid point, take the position of a team player. See your performance as the problem, not you per se. This will help you feel less emotional and appear more professional. Put the focus on what has to change. After all, you still want to remain on this team. What can the Employee Assistance Program do? Your EAP can be a great sounding board after you've experienced a difficult review. You can count on the Employee Assistance professional being upfront and giving you solid feedback. The EAP can help you examine steps to improve your performance, help you examine issues in the relationship you have with your supervisor, help you improve on your presentation, read your response letter, and maybe offer some pointers. Is it possible that your performance issues are related to personal problems unrelated to work? The EAP can offer you confidential support and problem solving in the event that anything personal is affecting your performance.